Is anything switched on? Things are switched on, yes, maybe? Is there sound? Oh no, hold on, I need to mute. Activate that one. Here's the sound. Hello, people. Are we running? Does it work? Do I sound alright? I adjust. Not only is this a new machine, but I actually adjusted settings for the microphone. Good evening, Simon. Hello, Aileen. How are we all? We have sound. Fantastic. Up and running. Thank you very much, Sergio. Right. Let's fill the screen with a bit more of me. Up and running. Fantastic. Right. Well, good evening, everybody. We are. This stream may well be very scuffed. I know last week kind of ended with a big old crash. So sorry about that. If you were watching at the time, we did jump into not a reserve stream, as like an emergency that seems to just kick in every time I drop out. So hopefully you found that. If we did, the same might happen today because I haven't got a clue how well this is going to run. This is a new rig, kindly donated by one of you kind viewers. I'm not sure if he's in here today, but it's basically taken from Friday till now to get some semblance of it running and kind of working. So we are cooking on faster gas. I need to change the settings of this camera, I think, because that's far too light. I'm far too bright. These things we'll sort out in due course. Am I in focus or not? I have no idea. I'm going to do it manually. Is that a bit sharper? Possibly. Until I go back here. Anyways, good evening, Andrew. So yes, Paul kindly sent me his old computer again for the second time. Thank you very much, Paul. So this machine is a Xeon 3.6 gigahertz, something or other, 64 meg of. I look focused now. Okay, thank you. 64 mega RAM. So I've got new hard drives. I know I've been threatening for this for a while. New hard drives and put them. Is that just you, Andrew? Or is that me? So new hard drives. So I've got 4 terabytes of SSD speed drive in there now. So we should be a little bit. I need an eye test. Fair enough. So we should be a bit faster on the whole generally things happening. Moved the graphics card across, which wasn't straightforward. Actually, getting the hard drive sorted wasn't exactly straightforward either. So some things might work tonight. Some things might not. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. So I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if we dare try to edit any images today, because I haven't basically run any. I've only just installed the Nik Collection, so I haven't got any of my presets on there at all. I haven't tested anything. I've loaded one catalogue up in Lightroom just to make sure I could read things. So we are very much running on a basic setup today. One thing is I did have to add in some noise suppression to the filters, so hopefully that's not taking too much of an effect on the old voice. But it's basically because this box is very loud. It's not the quietest box. I don't know if it's the fan on the processor or on the fan on the back, but it's a little bit noisy. But we'll try to resolve that in due course. But yes, added in some technical filters and stuff on the microphone, so hopefully it's quiet enough. I did test it. I could whisper into it, and I could still hear it, obviously with headphones. But hopefully, it's good enough to pick up pretty much everything I say, especially if I'm loud. Actually, if I'm loud, it should kind of kill it down a bit. Faint hum. Fair enough, Andrew. Fair enough. I'm probably in the same boat. I've been computering all weekend, which is never the most hygienic of things to do. Well, I think maybe why I look bright is because I haven't done any screen configuration yet. I haven't added in. I haven't done the screen calibration stuff. I thought sound and stream decks and hard drives working were a bit more important than getting the monitors configured. So whatever we make today, if we make anything, will be dependent on how good this monitor looks. But certainly the one here looks god awful and very, very blue. So that needs sorted out. So maybe because I'm looking at myself there, maybe I do look very, very bright to you guys. I don't know. Anyway, let's knock this down a bit. So basically, that's me. You're on form tonight, Andrew. You're on form tonight. So hopefully you've all had a wonderful week since I last saw you last Tuesday. Basically, I've done nothing but apart from try to sort out computers. Because it takes a long time to get things right and get things working. I like to have things right on my PC. So it's taking a bit of effort, but I think we're getting there. The one thing I can't do, which I think I'm going to have to do in a different way, is my old main C drive hard drive. I can't get into the documents folder on it. So what I might have to do is slide that into this machine, copy the contents of that document folder onto another drive, whip it out, and put the existing C drive back into this and run it, and hopefully that'll work. Because that's a bit of a ball ache, because there was quite a lot of stuff in that documents folder, which I kind of need. Half of it was a load of stream stuff, so half the graphics aren't and probably won't work, and I had to change the music because the music was stored on that as well. So one or two teething issues, but we are getting there. Are we running? Are we working? Stream working? Yes, it says so. I did slightly wonder there because everything kind of changed on my screen. Oh well. Anyways, we are here for Tuesday. All good. Thank you very much, Stan. Right. So apologies for the opening ramble. But you know what I'm like. There's always an opening ramble. So what else is going on? I've got a ton of work to do this week. I've got so many emails to reply to. Everybody seems to be after me. I've got my accounts to do. And that's got to be done by Sunday at the latest. So I've got lots and lots to do. And so that's now that I've got this back to pretty much working order, I can crack on with that. So that's my exciting week coming up. Has anybody got anything more exciting this week? And last week as well, because last week, I feel like I ended stream or rather, the computer ended stream last Tuesday, and then, and I feel like I'm back almost the next day, but with a hell of a lot done in between. Everything is behind. I did do it again. I did do it last year, Sten. But you know me, I like to do things at the last minute. I like to procrastinate until there's pressure, and then I'll do it. But yeah, I could be doing it every month. I could be doing it every day, to be honest. Keeping on top of these things. You got hurricane. I did see something about really heavy rain in Milan. Did I see that right? We've had a bit of another thunderstorm today. So again, whilst I remember, I don't know, those of you that were interested have probably already followed. But there should be a link down below in the description for my new YouTube. Well, that was a different button. For a new YouTube channel, which bad hurricanes. Yeah, there's never a good hurricane, Sergio. So my new YouTube channel, which is all to do with sound and ambient music, ambient sound. That is there. So there's a link in the description below. Hit that, and there's a video with featuring some rain and thunder. And I've just been recording more again today, so there might be another rain and thunder video coming up in the near future once I get all this other work out of the way. But I need to get some. Get all this admin done. There's plenty of stuff in the offing, and I need to pull my finger out and get them done. Otherwise, people are going to be chasing me. Good evening, good morning, Kangaroo. How are you? Hope you're well. How's the new PC? Well, it is currently still working, so that is good. We are live. We haven't dropped out yet. I have had one or two crashes. The camera still misbehaves though. We love a working computer. We do, Kangaroo. We do. So yes, we are pretty much there. I'm quite, I was doubtful whether I would actually stream. Yeah, the camera still goes black. I was doubtful whether I would actually stream today, whether it would be ready or not. But it seemed to be going fine, so here we are. So we will give it a go. Right, as I said before, I haven't got everything installed, so I haven't got my presets available to myself, so I'm going to have to do that myself. I have no idea what I'm going to edit today, actually. So it might just be a quick one, just to get in and get out. It might be. I'm looking at... Oh, now, what day did we do that? No, it wasn't that one. It was Edinburgh. Forgotten where it was. Was it May? Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Because basically, I still haven't taken a... I haven't taken a photograph since June. June 16th. For it being good, well, I mean, the weather's been rubbish for a while now, but I haven't picked up a camera since June the 16th. That is a disturbing amount of time. I didn't realise it'd been that long. So, what do we do? Do we have a go at that church? Maybe. Let's give us a second. Give me a second. What day was James with us? That one. I've got some really nice poppy ones. Do I do those or do I not? Actually, there's not much to do on them ones. So let us go to... What did I just say? Church. Not that one then. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be there in a sec. Which day was it? Not organised. Right, okay, found one. Nothing more exciting than a trip to Whitby. Whitby will be alright. Be lots of people around. Excellent, Ozzy. Good evening, Al. How are you, sir? It's been a while since I've seen you, sir. Hope you're well. So what's the subject, the matter then, Ozzy? Are you allowed to say? Is it something good? Is it something entertaining and informative? Right, let's give this a go, see if I can do this. Okay, right, we are to this stage anyway. Right, so let's try and have I marked any of these? I did. Now this was from mid-May when I had mark out to see learning for the day, and I ended up at the church at Bamborough. So just have a little look through some of these. Yes. I need a detailed one. Probably that one. Hi, Gopal. Thank you very much. Glad you could come along straight after seeing my image. Thank you very much. Welcome along. Well, that was the other. I don't know whether because it's what your image is or that was on Nigel's channel. But yeah, if you watch Nigel Danson's latest video, you will see a piece of work from me, which I am surprised he put in, to be honest. I did apologise to him in the message, saying, sorry, Nigel, this is probably not what you were thinking of when you put out a render my raw thing. So, but that's what you get when you give the possibility of me joining. Oh, very good, Ozzy. Very good. So a lot of my problems with ICM and stuff is I can't explain how to do it, which is quite annoying because I'm meant to be teaching it. Right. So if we go just add these to twos, just so I can identify them. Maybe that one. And a couple of light ones, like so. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, we're going to test the computer out now because we're going to another ICM video. Ah, very good. These shots are straight out of camera, Gobble. Yes. But we are going to blend them together in a sense. How well it'll turn out, like you say, how well the stream will stay put, I don't know. This is a new computer, so it's still got gremlins. So we might randomly drop out, you never know. But we'll give it a go. We will give it a go. Right, so let's need to process some of this. So I've got no idea how well... Okay, see how new an install this is. It's still giving me tips. I haven't even configured all this. I haven't sorted out my normal order. Right, right, I need the manual thing, and I need that to go to 50%. Right, you can go here. I need to change my order of these. I've forgotten how to do it. Anyways, lens corrections, that's the one I wanted. Tick those. Open up the vignette. I am very much off my game, and I haven't got any of my normal presets. I've only got the inbuilt ones. I haven't got anything installed yet. Right, so let's just go auto. Okay, cloudy. No exchange. Okay, stick with auto, and let's drop that contrast back a little bit. Yeah, just a tiny amount of shadows. Minimal tweaking here, to be honest. The main thing, I might just want to warm this up a little bit more. Not too much, because I don't want to go to the magenta-y side of stuff. Bit of warmth, and that. Ozzy, did you edit that word, or did chat edit that word? Just wondering. I've just seen that now. Well, yes, teaching ICM is a little bit confusing because it is so intuitive. Clue. Is it clue I want? Feather up. I need to turn that on, and I can see. I need to turn that up so I can see. And it's probably that one I want, actually, isn't it? Is it? That's a bit slow. The old computer was faster than that. Only joking. Good evening, Serge. Ah, very, very, very sly, Ozzy, very sly. Right, so that'll probably do for that one. I've forgotten what to do. Yes, library, okay. So I think, yeah, that's how you do it. Right, done. So that one, and then we'll just sync these across these settings. Check all, turn off masking, synchronize. So these might look absolutely terrible, but we'll give it a go. Right, edit in. Open as layers in Photoshop. Your new car search. What kind of car do we have, sir? Actually, we'll switch it back to me whilst it's doing that. See how it performs. It drops straight away to 12 frames. 4 frames. It's still not very good. It's still struggling. We'll go back to 30. Right. We are. I think it's a little bit better. But it should be a little bit better. It's got twice the amount of RAM. BMW 320i. I would like to know what that is. Obviously I know what a BMW is. But yeah, very nice. New card here. Could do with a new camera there. One that doesn't turn itself off. Yes, I'm still torn what I'm going to do with it camera-wise, because I don't particularly want to use the N50, which is behind me. But I don't want to be potentially melting my day at 50 by streaming with that. So I might have to do some tweaking of the setup at some stage. Do with a silent chair as well would go down a treat. It's very creaky. Right, just waiting for this to load. I've got my other lights on. Hey, there's my other lights. You've got something missing. Right, so new computer is okay. It seems to be working fine at the moment, Serge. It's had its moments in the last 5 days since I got it, or however long it's been. But a lot of that is just down to my requirements and me being a pain in the backside. But yes, got it, go away. But Paul has been extremely generous, not only with his computer, but with his time to help me, to guide me getting it working. So a massive appreciation to Paul for that. Because it is... when you've got an ignoramus like me saying, how the hell do you clone a drive? And I can't do this, and what's the pin number? And I think he was probably ready to throttle me. Huge appreciation for Paul. To give him all a round of applause in chat. Did I not import these problems? Right, anyway, so what have we got? We have got a very bad picture of a church. Right, so we need to kind of get this layered up. Just get these kind of roughly laid over the top of each other. This is a very light one. Something like that. That's not exactly the best layout. But to be honest, I might get rid of some of these layers anyway. I haven't been to Spain, Serge. Are you talking to somebody else? Right, let's changing some of these. Now the colours are probably going to be all screwed up today because I haven't got my monitor set up yet. By what do you mean that? Sergio, sorry. It's ICM, it's always out of focus. And the question is, do I do manual? Oh, you two talking, okay. I was wondering what you were talking about. Why don't we just go soft light with this? I'm out of focus. Yeah, it's probably am, Serge. Probably am. It's no bad thing, to be honest. Right, I don't know what I'm doing here. Need a bit of foreground with this one, so if I mask this out. A bit of masking. Sorts that out. This is where you can start playing around with like singular layer blends. See what we potentially get. Don't just stick to one. You can get some wild shit. Or maybe just leave it on soft light. I'm going to drop the opacity a little bit, just to bring a little bit more back in. We've got a nice glow there. Actually, let's reduce the opacity of that one as well. Right, something about that. Ah, I see. Doesn't take well, it doesn't take a lot to confuse me anyway. That's for certain, Serge. Alright, just move that down there so I can see what I'm doing. Right. Obviously nothing is actually set up for this. So God knows how this is going to turn out. And all my panels are different because that's not how I usually have them set up. Window workspace. Let's go photography. Yay. That'll do. For the moment. Good evening, Paul, the hero of the moment. How are you, sir? Thank you again for all your help this week. Or should I say last week? But yes, we are still live. We've been going half an hour. So things are going things are going all right. How long it'll go for? I still managed to have a crash earlier today. When I was playing with OBS, I had to come out of it a couple of times before it would let me do things, setting up the cam and things like that. But it seems to be all right. Very good, Andrew. Very good. Right, so let's crop all this rubbish out. Tab that into there. Yes, we all thank Paul. If it wasn't for Paul, I may not be yet on here today, streaming. Right, so we want a bit of change color. White Earp. Well, you just like related to everybody famous. That's a point, everybody. Guess who Paul is related to, which is very relevant to this channel. He's also related to William Hague, but we'll not hold that against him. Sorry for outing you, Paul. Wyatt, how the hell do you get to Wyatt Earp? Are you just randomly choosing famous people from the past or other celebrities and going, I wonder if I'm related to them? Have you come across a few Earps in your research? Is that what it is? Good evening, Alan. How are you doing, sir? Any heather out? I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. It's an interesting one. Tommy, well, to be honest, I could be. I have the potential of being related to Tommy Steele. Because that might be the S in my name. All right. Oh, the Ashmole Museum. There's lots of stuff to find out. Darken that down a bit. Let's adjust this a bit more. There, just a little movement. It would be. So notice how nobody else is having a guess of who Paul is related to. All right. You just chose that name. These people that think of better names than what they were actually given. I'm just so jealous of them. Right, okay. What am I going to do from this? Probably not a lot. Let's just stick this into color effects. So you might notice that coming up is that even a change of machine, admittedly not graphics card, but I haven't got to put it in again. Oh, no, I haven't. We've still got the tiny user interface. Close. That's it. Go away. Which is annoying as hell. Yeah, I guess so. Right, so obviously I haven't got any presets installed, so we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. And I can't remember how to do it. Well, Wyatt Earp was gunslinger in the West. Shot some people. Who else were we talking about? Oh, we had William Hague as a politician, or used to be a politician over here. He was leader of the opposition for a while. And the other person who nobody is guessing, that is very relevant to this channel, he's also related to him. I'm not forcing you to guess, because it's one of the trigger words. Not at all. Yeah, it's set at 150%, Paul. So I'd imagine it gets even worse if it's 100. Right, okay, I need basic adjustments yet, and double exposure, and lens vignette, and film type, and levels and curves. Okay, oh, that's just histogram. I'm not sure what the reset button is on these, but very small. Alright, okay. Make that smaller, make this rotate. Make it bigger. Something like that. Detail extractor, a bit of that. Yeah, you're probably right, Serge. But I spent the money and I feel loath to change it. Because I'm tight. Right, what do we need? What do we need? Right, the vignette, we need to get a shot of that. It's smaller. Less intensive. I think I started off with this too yellow. I made the mistake. But then again, I can't say what I'm doing because it's the monitor's not calibrated enough. It is a church. You couldn't get something more different, Peter. It's a church tower, the main body of it, and then another lump on the back, whatever these parts are called. Maybe I shouldn't have made this so yellow. It's just a quick stream just to test out things. It's kind of like the stuff I was making about 8 years ago. Some of which were good, some weren't. Let's go with about that. And this one. It often is, Andrew, it often is. There's me complaining about the colours, and then Peter comes along and says, love the colours. Thank you, Peter. You probably know better than me, to be honest. So, I bow to your judgment, sir. Maybe just rotate this around. Let's leave it as it was. Go back. I think I quite like this area here now. Just nice enough. I can't believe this is kind of working reasonably well. After everything. Okay. It's been cool all the time, Serge. It has been cool. We haven't had a nice day in the whole of July. We had a lovely June, too hot at times, but as soon as July came around, actually probably towards the end of, I think it changed. The same guy, that German, Chris, the German fellow that came over, the day he left, it turned colder and wetter, and it's been pretty grotty since. So that's... I did mention it. I didn't brag though, Paul, because I am humble. I didn't brag. I did mention it, and I did mention that in the message to Nigel when I sent in the email, sent in the message when I submitted it. I did basically say sorry for probably not doing it the same way as what everybody else was doing it. Because I was bored. I had to do my thing, and my thing I did do. So it was fun to do because I was bored. I had a bit of spare time, and I decided to play around a little bit. But there, go away. Right, apply that. See if we can do anything else with it. But yes, big thanks to stood out really well. I merged it with itself, Paul. Tell me more about dancing. I don't know if you watched Sunday's episode, sure, whatever video. He did a edit my raw thing about 3 weeks ago before he disappeared to wherever he's gone, and so there was like a woodland shot to edit, a coastal shot to edit, and then a shot of like the tin mine buildings down in Cornwall. So I edited the tin mine picture in Cornwall, but I did it in my way because I didn't like the composition. The light was a bit poor. There wasn't a lot of colour in the image, and then it needed improvements. So I improved it by changing the composition, turning everything upside down. I was actually initially making everything ICM, so I had to use path blurs in Photoshop, making new layers and blending these new layers of path blurs together. Basically how I usually do with the camera. Changed the colours, warmed it up, did my usual stuff, turned it upside down, put a bit of structure in the sky and got rid of the foreground because the foreground was in the way. But yeah, pretty much improved it. No, it's just a fun little thing to do, which was good crack. Have a look on the video surge, to be honest. Good evening, John. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Yeah, if you go to Nigel's video from Sunday and it's right at the end, or nearly pretty much right at the end, you will tell you'll be able to see which is mine. So yeah, there was a couple of good edits in there, and a couple of not so good ones. But yeah, it was just interesting to see what everybody does. And then I went and did something very different, as I do. But yes, I thought it was very good of Nigel to actually put it in because you know the amount of work and how different it is to obviously everybody else, because like landscape photographers watch him. So I thought I did not expect him to put it on because it would be so different. But it was good fun. It might well do, Jerry. It might well do. Good evening, sir. How are you? See, you mentioned certain words in it. You can't hear any because of the heavy filtering, Paul. Or maybe you can't. Or maybe you're taking the mic and you can hear background noise. But I did apply a lot of filters to the mic. So quite well. Very good, Jerry. Very good. Is it still hot over there, Jerry, in your area? I've kind of missed out on what it's like in the middle of the US this last week or so. Because on the news, it's all been about how Europe is really hot. You can't really hear the fans. I can. Yeah, I think I'm going to look into some silent fans or more silent fans. But I have got some heavy processing on the mic. It's in the 90s. Well, that's better than what the 115 or whatever it was. Last week or the weekend or whatever. Very hot. Thankfully, I mean here it's probably about 60 something in your money. I think I think yesterday it was 13 degrees. So there you go. Right, am I going to do anything else to this image apart from crop it for a wallpaper? Because it is nearly the end of the month, people. And you Patreon people need your wallpapers. And I haven't been out taking photographs since the middle of June, so there might be one or two from the archive if I can find anything worth putting out there. Right, what else can we do to this image apart from throw it away? Actually, I could finish last week's image for a wallpaper because I never actually finished it. That would be interesting. I've forgotten what it even looked like last week. I'm still tired, people, by the way. Now, do I go for brighter, knock out a lot of saturation in the sky and the surroundings and leave the building? Or might have to work on this a bit more. See if it's going to do select sky. See if it can tell what a sky is on here. The Patreon meetup will be, I was going to say Tuesday. It will be this Friday, Serge. I haven't got around to sending out the notifications yet, but it will be this Friday at 7:30 as usual. So if you're going to be there, it'd be lovely to see you, of course. Right. Did that just automatically do it? Must have done it. Right, okay. And we'll go. And if we go, oh no, we want to double click that. Since the foreground, actually we could do something with that, couldn't we? Just want to change the color because I mean it's very bland otherwise, isn't it? Not bland, but it's all very monotone. It's a little bit of a change. Yeah, I'll be sending out the notifications. You like the orange? I like orange as well. I have some orange juice. That sounds very technical, Andrew. But yes, Patreon people, if you are free on Friday evening, or should I say Patreon people and VIPs, if you're available on Friday, then it will be lovely to see you. Come and hang out for our... I'd imagine it will be, Andrew. Be a lot quieter than this. So I did think about getting a blanket and putting it over it. I mean, I do have the Superman cape over that. I can go and sit on top of it for a while. But yesterday I was doing when I had OBS loaded up. I didn't have anything else. It sounded like it was going to take off, and it only quietened off once I closed down OBS. So it was obviously something OBS was doing. It was very noisy. But yes, this morning I think I did some mic work to to can hopefully nullify the background. It's only because I stumbled across a video on TikTok about best settings for a mic for your streams, and I was like, that's exactly what I want. That is exactly what I want. Right, I think this is probably all it's I'm going to do. It's a fairly straightforward image today. Let's get rid of that layer. Make it a little bit smaller. And let's see how big this is going to be. 1.1, going to be quite small actually. Right, God knows how this is going to save. Is it going to save quickly or slowly or still the same speed as before? And the camera's gone off again. That's not too bad. It's actually showing all the percentages as it's going along. Huge improvement already. You'd think it was a new computer. Right, Lightroom. Has it gone to Lightroom? It has. Well, that's always helpful. Right, so effects. I still haven't even got these all in the right place. I need to sort these out. Solo mode. That's what I want. Then I have more screen real estate. Customized. Customize. Right, so everybody, if you want to customize your Lightroom panels, this is how you do it. Obviously, there's a default order. So the way I like to do it is because this is what the order I do things is lens corrections. Move up there, man. Move. Jesus Christ. There you go. What's so hard? Detail is always next. Then basic tone curve doesn't really matter after that. Save. Relaunch later. We'll do that later. We're not inspiring. Yeah, didn't want to be first gen. It did not. Yes, I change it. Change it the workflow, top to bottom. Apart from I don't really use half the panels anyway. So just a little tip I thought I'd throw in there for those of you that don't actually use it much. That was the case when somebody somebody emails you in the day and you're like, I need to get back to them, and then they interact with your Instagram post, like they know they've seen my email. But I'd better reply to them this evening before I tell it back. Right, so how is this? This is probably as good as it's going to get, to be honest. Right, so what we want a virtual copy. Forget where it is. Of course, this is Windows 11 as well, this machine, so it's a little bit more. I was going to say a bit more complicated. I'm just unsure of it. Leave that on. 16:9. There you go. That's probably a wallpaper for some of you. For Monday, I think, is the first. Monday, Tuesday. Create virtual copy. We'll obviously need a square crop. Should we go for something like that? Let's go for a 3:2-ish kind of size. We would stay on the crop. Oh, nearly. It was nearly there. That right? Actually, is a 4:5 maybe better? Might it? Because I really like this area here. I've used analog effects to do search. The thing is, what I didn't do, I didn't use my presets because I haven't got my presets installed yet on this machine. So I had to do it by hand from scratch. So I didn't use Analog FX Pro today. I mean, I did. I just didn't use my presets. So that's maybe why it looked a little bit different. Actually, I think this needs to be a bit wider. It's 5x7. Yeah, 5x7 is a bit narrower. Not the best ratio. Maybe it just balances it a little bit. You got that dip that side and up that side. Down here and then up there. Not often I do a 5x7. So I think when it comes down to it, maybe some square crops better. But yes, wallpaper version, you know, that some of you will no doubt see come Monday or Tuesday. Right, I've not actually used any of that. Not really. Well, I have, but not. I don't really need it because I don't need to, you know, make things straight or whatever. So just never really bother doing it. But yeah, I mean that's turned out all right. I've got no idea what the colour's like because, like I said, I haven't got the monitor profiled. So I will do that hopefully before next week. Because I don't really need it profiled for spending the next few days in a spreadsheet and replying to emails. So making images are not going to be top of my priority list, unfortunately, for the next week. But yeah. Right. So I think that will probably do for this evening. Just a quick stream. It's been an hour. Let's just switch back to there. Thank you very much, Serge. I hope you all enjoyed that little jaunt through a half set up computer. But success-wise, the computer seems to be working well. So thank you very much again, Paul, for your generosity in pulling me out of the shit again for the second time in 2 years, or whenever the last time was. But massively appreciated. I mean, it says frames missed due to rendering lag about 20,000, but a lot of that was from before I started streaming. So I think it's behaved admirably. It's done well. We've had a few people watching, which is always good. So if you've enjoyed the stream, please do leave it a like. Give that bad boy a thumbs up. And we should be back to full singing, dancing. There's a joke for you. Exactly, Cat. Beat you to it, Jen. Should be all back to full singing and dancing by next week, hopefully, with a bit more confidence in having everything installed and done more tests just to make sure everything works and turned a few things off to make it better, etc., etc., etc. These things take time to bed in, but yeah, obviously already a massive difference noticeable. So what we can put that down to, I don't know, because we've got twice the amount of RAM in there. We've got a faster processor. We've got all that extra hard drive space now, whereas beforehand the scratch discs were working on about 4 gig. Now they've got like 1.5 terabytes to play around in each. So it's we've got loads of space, and we've got a load more hard drive space as well. 12, 15, 27. There's 31 terabytes of hard drive space in this computer now. I've just worked it out. Paul didn't supply them all, but he did supply a majority of them. So thank you very much for that. I've just worked it. That's a ridiculous amount of hard drives. But yes, combining all that together, It's certainly helped. Stream seems to have been a lot smoother. Maybe it's because there's less crap on this computer. It hasn't got like been filled up over about a year, so it's been wonderful. Again, thank you very much, Paul. Everybody give him a round of applause. Make him feel really uncomfortable. Back it all up, Andrew. What do you mean by that? I only back up finished things. That's the point. I need to plug in the backup hard drive. Yes, I'm terrible for backing up. Because really, to be honest, all I'm really bothered about is if I've got the finished result. That's all I'm. He says that now, but and one day I might sort out the camera as well, so that works swimmingly. But we'll see. We will see. So anyway, that's been quite an enjoyable little stream, people. So thank you very much for coming along and watching. Hopefully I've sounded all right. Like I say, I did play around with the settings and the compressors and noise gates, and I think there's how many filters is on here? 5 filters, noise suppression, 3-band equalizer, compressor, limiter, and some gain. I had minimal tweaking to make it work. So hopefully it sounded all right. Obviously I'll watch it back just to check. I'm saying I'll watch it back. I'll skip through it bits and pieces just to see how it looked. It sounds really good. To be honest, my sound for long enough, I've always thought it was a bit. Whenever I watch myself back, I'm like, good God, deafening myself. And obviously I had all the problems with the reverberation around the room when I moved up into here. So hopefully the whole noise suppression stuff has helped with that as well. Apart from, with all the sound deadening stuff as well. So, are you suitably embarrassed there now, Paul? And seeing as nobody was brave enough, or potentially daft enough, to guess who Paul's related to, that is relevant to this stream and relevant to all my work, is that Paul's found out he's related to bloody JMW Turner. Well, you don't get embarrassed. I can't see what I'm doing. You don't do embarrassed. Fair enough. Yeah, so Paul's gone back and he did suggest Red Dead. I know that, Andrew. So yes. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool when he let me know. That was good fun. But yeah, the William Hague one is not quite as doesn't have the same kudos. But anyways, right, before I waffle on for hours and hours and hours, lovely to see you all. Thank you very much for dropping in. Everybody, those of you that are new, well, welcome along. Don't be shy. Do jump into chat. These lot won't, they'll not eat you. Well, one or two might. But yes, remember we're back every Tuesday. If you want to join the Patreon, you can do that. There's a link below. It's almost the end of the month, so you'll be getting new wallpapers imminently. There's all kinds of other things. Remember to follow or subscribe to the new YouTube channel, which is linked below as well. I haven't checked. I didn't amend the link that I made in thingy. If you're after my socials, go for me socials. If I point it in the wrong place. Did it do anything? It did. It did. So I actually haven't. I haven't amended the socials for the new YouTube channel either. But I'm still working on that because there's only one video, and I've got if things work out, I've got a plan for one more. I've got another one. I've got the sound recorded for it. Actually, maybe there's another sound recorded for another 2. So we'll see how it goes. And I haven't been down to the coast to do anything yet, so going to do some coastal ones as well. But yeah, that's to do once I've finished my admin stuff. I mustn't get distracted and start work on that because I've got too much other stuff to do. Right, I am waffling again. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Have a wonderful week. And again, thank you very much for your help, Paul. Jen, thank you very much for doing a wonderful job as moderator this evening. I know you worked hard. And the Patreon people and the VIPs, I will see you on Friday. Those of you that can make it. It'll be lovely to see lots of you there. Right then. Thank you all very much. We will see you next week. Fingers crossed. You did exactly nothing, Jen. Yeah. Well, hopefully you're not working too hard on Friday, Jen, and you can swing by, even if it's just for a short while. But it'll be lovely to catch up with all and sundry. Right then, guys. Thank you all very, very much. We will see you next week. And I must end stream. Till then, keep hard. See you.